Damn. Damn.
You allowed to show that?
Y, and today we got how height impacts your success.
I'm broke.
That's be sure to check out my stuff.
Nah, yo.
Sure to check out Stanley's stuff.
Stanley Live. Please!
Please.
Oh, man. Come on, bro. Come on. You didn't even try. We didn't even try.
The bingo sheet,
Come
bro.
on,
The bingo sheet, bro. The bingo sheet.
Come on, bro.
If anything, though, I was gonna be more like, please, but you were like, please. You know what I'm saying? So technically, I'm going with that's not in sync. Let's get into it. You already know the vibes.
Joe Biden became US president. He's 1.83 meters or 6 foot.
That nigga 6 foot.
4 years later, he was succeeded by Donald Trump, who's 1.90 or 6'3".
I want to
You
go
and
with,
Donald Trump are the same height.
I think Donald Trump slouches like crazy. That's literally what I was gonna say. So I don't know if they're giving him 6'3" standing straight or 6'3" slouching.
Like, his dome kind of slouching right here.
That's what I'm saying. So I think you're the same side as
Donald Trump?
Nah,
I'm more of an Abe type nigga.
Abraham Lincoln himself was 1.93 or 6'4". These were all tall presidents. If we look at the height of all the US presidents over
I know, wasn't George Washington's like a unit?
I got no idea.
Or maybe a unit for the time.
the years, we see two things. First, most of them were taller than the average male height at the time. And secondly, it seems that their heights have been going up over the years. Why are US presidents so tall? And why are they
obese?
Huh.
Let me know something.
He was hooping and shit.
He was
too.
hooping.
How tall was Barack Obama? 6'1". 6'1". 6'1".
Gotta
That's
be,
not bad
gotta
at all.
be,
That's
gotta
not
be.
bad.
their heights getting bigger? Do you need to be tall to become successful? I looked at the scientific research on how your height impacts your life. And I investigated how height predicts your
Yo, would you ever watch anime on stream? Not on stream, but I see people do it on Patreon all the time, and it's enticing me.
Yeah.
sports performance, your health, your dating life, and your career. I'm gonna use 2 short characters and 2 tall characters to
Oh, you might be in this video. Oh, shoot. Yo, you might be in the video, bro. That's crazy.
I'm kind of looking straight today. I ain't.
Bro. You might be in, I don't even want to do the bit anymore.
show how they're impacted by height in these 4 areas. But what exactly is a short or tall person? People come in many different sizes. In the US, doors are typically 2.03 meters tall. Let's see how
That shit is not 6'8". This shit, yeah, this has to be 7'5". Cause like if I'm right here,
Are we doing this or are we doing this?
no, this right here. Cause like, bro, you like 6'10".
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
doors got to be on average like
Yeah.
7'5".
Cause you're 6'9".
That's what I'm saying, and I'm like,
Yeah. That's. Yeah.
yeah, nah. So I don't know if I agree.
These
with
are
that.
14-foot ceilings, right?
Yeah, no, bro, come on, man.
14 foot.
Yeah, type shit. So it's like, nah, I don't really know if that's accurate.
people from different countries fit through these doors. The country with the shortest women is
What? No, my stream is here. It says on my stuff I'm streaming. When?
Like actually when?
Guatemala.
Ah, bingo sheet.
Oh, left the room.
Stream end is on the bingo sheet.
Oh,
That's
that's
how often it freaking
hilarious.
happens.
With an average female height of
That's
1.51 meters. But that's just the average height. There are shorter women in
Jay, you're so cool for this bingo sheet stuff. That's such a fire idea, bro.
Guatemala and around the world. For example, Simone Biles, an American who's the most decorated
short.
gymnast in history,
Short as hell,
is
bro.
1.42 meters tall. As for men, Timor-Leste has the shortest average height at 1.60 meters.
Sorry.
In the US, the average height is 1.61 for women and 1.75 for men.
Okay.
The tallest country in the world is the Netherlands, with an average of 1.70 for women.
We got a boy from the Netherlands.
He is not.
He is not that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He is not that.
I'm not gonna count.
And 1.84 for men. Roughly
Dang,
1 in every
Netherlands
5
got
Gen
it.
Z Dutch men are at least 1.90 meters.
Whoa.
The average height is 6'3".
That's disgusting.
How is their basketball team?
They not on the Olympics. I ain't seen that.
NBA players are 2 meters tall on average. And Zach Edey, the tallest active NBA player, is 2.24 meters tall. If you want to check the average height of your country, you can pause the video now and check the table on screen.
Okay.
I also asked my audience about their heights. It turns out they're 1.67 and 1.79 meters tall on average.
Man, we cannot do this. Everybody in here is gonna cap, bro. This guy was strictly
my shit's gonna stay at 7'9".
Yeah,
bro. Hey, bro, how tall are y'all in chat, bro?
How tall are y'all, man? Let us know, bro.
6'2", 6'7", 5'9". If you lie and say 5'9", that's actually crazy. 6'9". Lying and saying the average height is insane.
Women and men,
I don't even know. If
We're just typing numbers
there,
bro.
yeah.
respectively,
We could just really put
assuming
6.
we only include the adults.
Someone put 6 with the little slash thing.
For characters, I'm going to use the nationalities of the shortest and tallest countries, and I'm going to give them typical names. Willem, Wilhelmine, Manuel, and Maria. To highlight the difference in height, I'm going to assume Maria and Willem are a bit shorter and taller than their country's average. So, who has an advantage? Let's start with sports. As you can imagine, it helps to be tall if you want to make it to the NBA. But being short can be an advantage for other sports. As you
Isn't it powerlifting and gymnastics? I know it's good to be short.
Get bigger, the physics of your body change. Some features of your body grow proportionally as you get taller. If you're 20% taller, your reach is about 20% longer, which is helpful in basketball. But other features are different. Because our bodies have complicated shapes to model mathematically, it's easier to explain it with cubes. Take these two concrete blocks. One is twice as long as the other. Blocks of concrete can withstand more force if they're bigger, and the strength of the block is directly proportional to its cross-sectional area. If the cube on the right is 2 times longer, then its cross-sectional area is 4 times larger. The area of a cube...
I ain't gonna lie. Once I started seeing equations on here, I don't know what the fuck we talking about.
So what it's telling you is like, you're only about as strong as like your center of gravity. Like, since I'm like mad big, like you. No, like what I was saying is like when like you really. No, you gotta like, bro, you gotta let me like.
Cube grows to the power of 2 relative to the length, making the second cube 4 times stronger. The same principle applies to our bodies. In theory, if Willem is 20% taller than Manuel, then his strength could potentially be 40% bigger, although the real number depends on other factors. As a result, in sports where raw strength matters, being tall helps.
The stream is gone again?
Helps. That includes sports where you throw things like javelin throw, and
that would make
fighting
sense.
sports. In boxing,
bro, I'm not trying to fight someone that's 5'2" that's good at boxing, bro.
Bro, what?
What? I feel like I'll fight.
I was great at throwing sports though.
Throwing?
Yeah.
We were throwing the hell out of those rocks.
Oh yeah, the rocks.
We kind of got to do that on stream. Do you know how to skip rocks?
Mm-hmm. We got OD skip rocks on stream.
You think you skip rocks better than me?
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
Number one,
I don't.
just ultimate belief in yourself. You know I'm always gonna say yeah.
Tight.
But number two, I really know how to sing that. Like I
What's
really
your
know
high
how
score?
to.
What's your high score? What's your high score?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I've done it across the pond before.
Damn, that's a lot.
I'm nice. I'm like that. I skipped rocks recently.
You're calm. I don't doubt that you're calm. I don't doubt that you're calm.
Let me see.
Because it's really about getting that like.
I have this recorded.
You know what I'm saying? Until they get that.
I have this recorded, bro. If I can find it, if I could get it. Now, mind you, this is an off-season skip. An off-season skip.
Right.
I don't like how it's updated to where like.
Yeah, it's odd.
It's annoying. Okay. This is an off-season skip. No.
I believe in you.
Come on, gang. Come on, gang.
That's actually
Come
very
on,
tough.
gang. Come on,
I ain't gonna
gang.
lie.
I do
toys
this.
that you had on your body.
I do this. Look.
That's actually fantastic work.
Hold up, bro. You saw me with the douche.
Yeah.
Hold up, gang. Look at the form. I need you to see the form.
Form is the,
Come on, bro. I do this.
The only thing I was looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's good work. Look, you gotta really look
Nah, South Carolina shit, boy. Don't f me, bro. We can do this though. We can line
do
that
this.
up.
We can line that up. That's immaculate.
We can
work.
line that
That's
up.
immaculate work.
It's because your hand is the size of a horse. Pause.
Nigga trying to riz me up, bro. You got the same size.
This might be a match.
That's what I'm saying. I think
that might be a match.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think it would be good.
Rock skipping stream is unique too.
Yeah, for sure. We could do that. We could run that.
All right.
I think we could run that up.
Tight.
Boxing, strength and reach matters so much.
You know what you got me in though? Aim. My aim is not great.
What you don't need for rock skipping?
No, I just mean in throwing sports, like in general.
That athletes are divided based on weight classes. A short fighter would have a hard time beating a well-trained, larger fighter.
Country strength goes crazy.
Are you not?
Not the fuck out. Bro, I started reading the chat before I was like, damn.
A short fighter would have a hard time beating a well-trained, larger fighter.
Damn. Damn.
You allowed to show that?
Hell no, bro.
Craziest transition.
Look at his neck, bro. Rev, do something.
What happened?
Don't
Go
make
back
him
to sleep, bro. Don't even worry about it.
for him. He voiced lines for him. He voiced lines for him.
What happened?
I've never seen this channel ever do a
Me
bit
either,
ever, bro.
bro.
That got hit so hard that the channel made a bit. That's insane.
You've been out for days. We were not sure you were gonna make it. What happened? You suffered a severe lack of problem-solving skills. You're going to need Brilliant.org, the sponsor.
Under my radar.
Oh my god.
Nah, I got to do a system update. This is crazy.
Nigga, I need the new iOS.
Yeah, that's good.
That was insane.
That got through my firewall.
Because I was like, that never does bits.
Yeah.
That was good.
Weight and volume increase to the power of 3 relative to the length. A cube that is 2 times longer has 8 times more volume and weight. That means that although taller people tend to have greater strength in absolute terms, their strength relative to their body weight is lower. That's important for sports where you have to lift your body weight, like climbing. Your linear momentum, which describes the force required to slow down an object, also grows to the power of 3. But the strength of the muscles used to stop your movement only grows to the power of 2.
Okay.
If you're tall, it's harder to stop your motion, but also
yeah, I mean, bro, this motion just goes.
Man, I don't know when the last time I did stop.
Boy,
Yeah.
the motion
Boy,
just stop.
come on. Shoot. I'll have to let a short nigga tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, you talk.
Come on, bro.
also harder for other people to stop you, which is useful.
That motion is in the negatives. Air motion.
Sound like a great airline. I'm hopping on that.
I'm hopping
That
on
does sound like a
bit
good
too.
gospel.
I'm hopping on that bit too. I'm hopping on that bit
in
too.
sports like American football.
Damn. This blue having a hard day, bro.
Yeah.
As you get bigger, your rotational momentum increases to the power of 4, and your rotational inertia increases to the power of 5. Rotational momentum and rotational inertia are complicated words to describe how hard it is to speed up or slow down.
Yeah, like it'd be like when I'm like spinning, bro. It's like it just takes like so much, like. Like I sometimes
It started looking like you were twerking because you started like it was backwards. I wouldn't have known unless
Rotation
I
of an
kept looking
object.
at the screen.
Shorter people tend to be able to change their rotation speeds faster,
Moving.
Shut up.
giving them an important advantage in sports like gymnastics, which probably explains why Simone Biles is so short. So while taller athletes
I didn't know she was short, bro. I had no clue.
She's tiny.
I had no clue, bro.
have an advantage in
Boyfriend
reach,
still 6'something.
Huh?
Her boyfriend still 6'something.
Happy for him, but
and raw strength, shorter athletes tend to be quicker, more agile, and strong for their size. What about our health? Is it healthy to be
no, like technically on paper, Feek is stronger than us.
Yeah.
Like pound for pound.
tall? A study looked at the heights and health of male conscripts in rural Spain and found that for the men born between 1835 and 1869, tall men were living almost 80 years longer than short men. Why were
Wait, what? No, I thought it was the reverse.
I thought it was a reverse.
short
as
men
well.
dying younger? Is being short unhealthy? This is a trick question.
Because I thought
It has
taller
to be-
people.
it has to be on some ratio thing where it's like taller people, whatever, but short people are dying like due to other means because of their like vastness. So like if there's 1 million short people and there's 100,000 tall people, short people are probably dying to like car accidents and things like that.
Actually, that was a really good point because like there's like what over 6 foot is like what percent of the population?
So I think
like
it's
12,
like,
something like that.
Your height depends on two things: your genetic.
I remember this one time I was at a grocery store. Like, obviously, being tall, like, I don't really think about it that much. But there's, like, some people who make it, like, their entire personality. Yeah. Like, I would say this grocery store, right? And there was this dude who probably, like, 6'5", like, whatever. Like, I'm walking. He stops me. He goes, yo, bro, did you know that you and me are, like, 3% of the population? Mind you, I don't know this nigga. I don't know. We're, like, 3% of the population, bro. Like, we're like, yeah. He goes on a whole spiel about how like it's like superior and like evolution and shit like that. It was weird, bro. I met a cool ass white dude at the ghost kitchen jump that I was telling you about. You gotta take me there, bro. You gotta
go there. We gotta go there. Yeah. But tall as fuck, didn't even talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. That's
the interaction that I like.
The only time we talk about height is on stream because it's a bit. Yeah. But like in real life,
that's college though. College niggas, they like height's a thing over there
because it's
as shallow as possible.
You know what it is? They still think that like influences like their dating life, and they still have things to be like insecure about. But we're like older, so it's like, gang, it doesn't matter.
Facts. I'm insecure about my bills getting paid this month.
Type.
You got me with that 1,000 we talked about earlier.
The one that I owed you.
You owe me and I need 1,000. Wait.
Yeah, no. I told you when, like,
wait, we're both down. What'd you run into, bro? Let him know.
I thought you unlocked it. I thought you left the door unlocked. I didn't know you never locked my door.
In your environment, and that especially.
Someone said, "Are you chewing on raw spaghetti?" No, Capri Sun straw is one of the most valid things to chew on, bro. It's more valid than a bottle cap.
For sure.
It's more valid than a bottle cap.
Actually
it's almost as valid as gum.
I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at that concept.
Your nutrition and diseases during childhood. In Western societies, it's estimated that these environmental factors account for about 20% of the variation in heights, and that in lower income countries the number is probably even higher. Our heights reflect our living standards. These shorter Spanish men were not dying earlier because they were short. They were dying earlier because they had worse health and living conditions.
Oh, that's true saying.
If we look at the average male heights per country and plot them against the Human Development Index, which
hey, y'all, I'm trying to find my headphones and my mom is close by, so please don't say nothing stupid. So what I was saying about crack cocaine, right? Yeah. When you're supposed to do it, I prefer if you do it when you're a minor because like it just allows you to like build up a tolerance to it, so you have more fun and you can be high for longer. Yeah. That's what like
I go more of the fentanyl route. Let me get closer to my mic. I go more of the fentanyl route.
You mean fentanyl?
Yeah, the drug? The crazy drug. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Super accessible. Super accessible. I actually think majority of kids should be doing that. I think kids should be doing fentanyl. Type. Yeah. I'm glad we have this platform to tell the youth this. Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know that's what we push for all of our viewers.
Yeah. I mean, matter of fact, click the link in the description
for some fentanyl.
Type.
Yep.
In GTA.
Measures the quality of life of countries. We see that countries with a higher Human Development Index tend to have taller people. And if we plot the height against childhood mortality, we get the opposite correlation. Disease during childhood can limit growth, and countries with a higher child mortality rate tend to have shorter people. As living standards increased around the world, so did our heights. In the space of 100 years, the world average height increased about 8 centimeters for women and 9 centimeters for men. So health tends to increase height. But how does height impact your health? Tall people tend to have harder falls. If you drop a very small cube of stone on the floor, it will most likely bounce off the ground.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like when I was a kid, falling used to be a thing, and like I would like be able to get up. Now when I fall, like and I don't expect it as an adult, I gotta sit there. I gotta. It's come to the point. Even as I've gotten swoller, bro. Like when I fall, I gotta roll.
Yeah, we go to the back. Yeah, legs all in the air. Yeah,
bro. I gotta hit like.
Yes, bro. Every single time it's Oh shit!
No.
Bro.
Matter of fact, don't even hurt your knees, bro.
Hey,
don't even hurt your knees, game.
I kind of fucked up a little bit right there,
Boy, you gotta really, cause it's more. You gotta. The thing is, you have time to catch yourself as a tall person, cause I gotta get all the way down there,
bro. Yesterday, I tried to do a front flip in my apartment on stream. Yeah, I didn't react the rest of this. Yeah, it was a silent. It was a silent react the rest of the video, bro. I was on the ground for about 5 minutes. I didn't say a word for the rest of the. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
I did this bit. I did this bit. Hold on, I gotta show it to you.
I'm not even joking, bro.
Yeah, I did this shit, cause bro, the thing is, I feel you, bro. Nigga, sometimes I be doing bits. I'm like, I am not Kai Cenat, bro. This shit gonna actually hurt, bro. I did this shit, bro. Hold on, let me find this up.
My center of gravity is not up the center.
No cat, bro. I did this shit. I think you already know exactly what I was doing. Oh, God tier status and stuff like that, bro. They're not gonna move. They're gonna just stay there stiff. I did this, bro. Like, imagine if I got scared of things on stream and I know you could like hear when the impact, the second the camera shook, I was like. No, because you really do have to. Bro, you have to. What they don't realize is you have to like fall and then get into a place where you're comfortable enough to lay. Because if I fall like this, I'm gonna be like.
It's a transition.
Yeah, because this is the spot I'm staying. No. Bro. No. Think you rolling in pain? No, bro. I'm finding. I'm gonna be laying here for 10 minutes.
Okay, boy. Yeah, that was the end of the stream, man.
Like other people, I feel like normal people stay here.
Yeah.
But like, I gotta. Let me
transition right there.
Right. Yo, that's so real, bruh.
If you drop a very large cube of stone, it will probably break.
100%.
The impact of your fall increases to the power of 4 relative to the height. That would be fine if there would be enough surface area to dissipate the impact, but your surface area only increases to the power of 2. If villain hits the
So your surface area doesn't increase much, like enough to take the like power that you generate.
ground.
You know that's one of the biggest problems with Zion Williamson?
Wait, what'd you say?
That's one of the biggest problems with Zion.
Yeah,
he's massive and his body produces powers that his bone can't keep up with.
Yeah.
So that's why he's in.
Because I saw the video that doing that block. That got bunnies.
Yeah,
bro.
his body's too strong.
Or not bunnies. That got jackrabbits. Like, that nigga big as shit.
Suffer an impact with a concentration of energy 2 times bigger than Maria's.
I know that gotta roll around, bro.
And that's assuming the impact is evenly distributed by the body. If the impact is concentrated on a small area, let's say the corner of a curb, then the impact could be almost 4 times bigger. Therefore, shorter people tend to have a lower risk of injury during falls and car accidents.
One of my biggest nightmares, bro.
What?
That.
I ain't gonna lie.
Falling like that.
I'm good. Look at that shit.
You know, I was talking about, right before I ended my stream, I was talking about how I think I could survive a shot to the head. And, wait, no. Bro, come back, bro. Let me explain it, bro. I was talking about how I think I could survive being shot in the head. He went to the bathroom. No, he went to the kitchen.
You have until I finish this piece to explain that bullshit.
Because if the bullet goes all the way through, I think I survived that. If the bullet gets lodged in, I think it's 50-50. If the bullet breaks and fragments while it's in my skeleton, I think I'm dead. So at the end of the video, we flipped the coin, right? And I was like, I have to get 2 of these guesses right before I get 1 wrong. If I get 2 right, I survive. If I get 1 wrong, I lose. Because I just think I'm a lucky individual enough to survive something like that.
Is that why you called me and asked about that dumbass?
No, this was today. The other thing was something separate. that was right before I got here. Yeah, and I flipped a coin. Best 3 out of 2, basically. and I got 2 without getting one
If you
wrong.
get shot in the head, you're dying, bro.
The torque generated when you bend over increases to the power of 4 relative to your height, but the counter torque generated by your muscles only increases to the power of 3. As
Is that a bingo card?
Oh, shoot. Yo, you left Stanley with the stream and came back. I'm holding the bingo card.
a result, taller people tend to have more back problems. And due to the proportions of heart muscles relatively to your body weight, tall people also tend to have a lower heart rate, which is a risk reduction factor for cardiovascular diseases. And because of their body mass to surface area ratios, it's easier for tall people to stay warm in the cold, but that also puts them at the higher risk of heat stroke. There are both pros and cons for being short or tall, and if we look at the research on life expectancy, we find mixed results. However, some research indicates that taller people are more likely to get cancer, and in the end, it seems that shorter people have a slightly longer life expectancy.
The way you be eating? Never mind. Let me go ahead then. It's the whipped cream. It's the whipped cream. I said it. It's the whipped cream, bro. It's the whipped cream, bro. You're tall and you be eating whipped cream. You don't even know what's in it, bro. It's 0-calorie cream, bro. But it's vanilla flavored. How are they whipping it if there's nothing in there, gang?
Wait.
Come on, bro. You know what that is, bro. You know what that is.
Higher risk of cancer?
Don't say weed, bro.
Now, how does height impact your dating life? This chart shows the height of US men measured by doctors in physical exams. The average US male height in 2023 was about 1.75 meters or 5'9". But if we compare this line with the height self-reported by US men, something interesting happens. Firstly, the distribution is skewed to the right. On average, men exaggerated their height to be 2.4 centimeters or about 1 inch taller than their actual height. Secondly, when we get to the 5'11" mark, we get a dip followed by a bump at 6 foot, suggesting that many men who are just below 6 foot add an inch to their height. There might be some truth behind the memes, although women also exaggerated their heights by 1.7 centimeters. It seems people do exaggerate their height, especially men. But do women really prefer taller men? The papers I found do seem to indicate that. It seems that women prefer taller partners and men prefer shorter partners with this.
Cat!
Yeah, I'm trying to find
Cat!
Project
Cat.
Braun.
Cat.
I think they're
Cat.
underestimating
Cat.
how much men are trying to make Project Braun happen. That's what it really is, bro.
I just need 5'10", bro. 5'10", 5'10".
Preference being stronger for women. However, these papers also indicate that, firstly, people prefer heights that are somewhat similar to their own heights, so Maria would probably be.
I got bingo.
Live Laza posted in the Discord, bro. That being said, though, this is a 32-minute reaction. I'd be surprised if someone didn't get bingo by now, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Live Laza posted in the general chat.
Interested in someone with Manuel's height rather than Willem's. And secondly, this paper suggested there were no differences in how often short men went on dates compared to tall men. So, although shorter men and taller women do seem to face some challenges in the dating world, the effect of height is, quote, modest and just one of many factors that impact attraction. And how does height impact your career?
I think there's a hole in my sock right now.
My socks are good.
Yeah, I wore the good ones today. Yeah, I wore the good ones today.
Kai Sinat,
Simba
the God.
Cloud.
Cloud's richer than both of us.
YXL.
Yup.
Waka.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. So, yeah. No cap. Thank you for lending me that $2,000 today. I went in debt to get it, gang. I ain't gonna lie.
Was height important for these men to become US presidents? We've seen how height is impacted by your nutrition and health. Since your socioeconomic situation impacts these two, it impacts your.
Stan, appreciate you giving me that. The one that you stole?
I went into foreclosure for it.
Going into foreclosure for a stolen whip is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be really broke to
I had to take out the second down payment.
Type shit.
Height as well. People from privileged socioeconomic backgrounds are more likely to be tall, and height has been used as an indicator of wealth inequality. For example, another study that looked at Spanish conscripts between the 1870s and year 1930 found that highly qualified non-manual workers were on average 3.6 centimeters taller than agricultural workers. So, when we see a positive correlation between height and career success, we have to keep in mind that it could also be explained by the privileged background of taller people, who may have had access to better education, nutrition, and healthcare in childhood. Having said this, even when researchers adjust the data for these factors, they find some advantages favoring taller people. It seems taller people are perceived as more competent, employable, and healthy. They are seen as more leader-like, and they tend to have
Bro, I was like, in my head, I was like, yo, if this bends his knees at a 30%, I'm about to push him so slightly, bro.
That's exactly what happened to my knees, too. Actually, very proud of my knees.
a higher
together. They held together. That was some great knee usage just now. No bull.
Bro, I promise you, I've never pushed you softer.
self-esteem and social esteem. On the other hand, some research suggests that being very tall or very short does not have a big impact on how other people perceive you. I left out some details of the research to keep the video light, but in short, there is some evidence.
Hey man, we didn't keep the video light. That's gonna be the reaction. I hope you guys liked it. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Be sure to check out my stuff.
Tall man, yo.
Sure to check out Stanley's stuff.
Tower man, Stan.
And we gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.